Hello, welcome in. Today is March 24th, 2024, and today is day 74 of 100 days, 100 ways, trails taken. And we have a new trail marker, consumption, the disclosure, and the guidepost is alcohol. So, do you consume alcohol? None? Do you use beer? Do you take wine? Are you partial to spirits? Or other? Okay, so consumption, the disclosure. Sometimes it makes people uncomfortable, right? Disclosing these kinds of things, but this information is just for you. You know what you do. Whether you want to admit it and write it down on the paper is a completely different issue. And if it's triggering you, put it in the triggers, right? It is something. A lot of us have had some issues with alcohol. Alcohol is, they made it sound like it was this great thing for a while, and, having like wine, if you're not brought up that way, and if it's not just part of your regular way of life culturally, and then suddenly you start, oh, I should have wine with every meal, and it has this good benefits and things in it for me. And, but yeah, like polyphenols, right? We would have to drink a whole lot of it to get the actual benefits, that are provided with that. So there's other ways to get those things, of course. And yeah, choosing not to drink alcohol, of course, it's totally a personal choice. Some of us have family lineages that maybe have had an addiction problem to alcohol, and can cause a lot of not just physical issues, but mental issues, emotional issues. All facets of well-being can be affected by alcohol and our consumption of it. Being responsible for it is, when we're young and we're like, oh, everybody's partying and it's fun and look at them and I want to do that too and I can't wait. And, some of us started drinking early, and because it helped us feel like we're fitting in, or made things more fun, or, maybe you weren't going to be accepted if you didn't do it. And yeah, I had some definite, as I look back on my life and see some roles that alcohol has played in my life. Mainly, number one, I will say, when I was 14 and, we're up the hill, up the mountain, partying with, a bunch of people underage drinking. Some people were of age, but most of us were not. And, the hazards that come with that, especially when you're not, you're not being responsible, you're just being in the moment. And I nearly drowned. I fell into a waterfall, reaching in with my empty rum and coke glass to get a drink of water, and yeah, nearly drowned. And it didn't hinder me from partaking further. And that's where we need to look at the issues, right? What are the things that are making us consume underage, making us consume privately, hidden? What are the things that make us consume to fit in? Like all the things, right? So for myself, I took a long period of time off of having any alcohol. It was becoming an issue for sure. When things were falling apart in my life, it was an easy, reach for it. And sometimes it would make you feel a little bit better for a little while, but then reality always comes back, right? So yeah, unless you keep on keeping on with the, sipping, reality has a way of smashing you over the head if you fall too far down that path. So yes, I did stop consuming alcohol for a while, and the health benefits were amazing. We know that the body says alcohol is a poison, so as soon as it enters into your body starts to react to it, and of course inflammation is one of the main things. And if you already have some other issues underlying, an illness, a disease, or symptoms of things, alcohol exacerbates it. It makes it more pronounced. It makes those things worse. Inflammation is like the breeding ground for all of our underlying things. All that, it kind of starts with that. It's like the first signal that the body sends saying something's not correct. So if you're feeling any ill effects when you're not having alcohol, maybe don't have the alcohol, because it will make it, it probably make it worse. Also with the depression, right? Alcohol is a depressant. So where we think it's making us feel better, in the moment, maybe if, the energy of the moment is uplifting, and, maybe you're at a wedding or at a party or a celebration of some kind, even Jesus turned water into wine. So, used in the right environment, in the right setting, for the right purposes, for the right reasons, with joy in our heart, then yeah, absolutely, go for it. What is the thing? Never drink to feel better, only drink to feel even better. So when you're feeling even better, when you're feeling joyful, when you're feeling uplifted, it has a possibility to make us feel more joyous and be happy. But on the other end of the coin, right? When that joy and the happiness are finished, like say at the end of an evening of an event, and you've had a few, beverages, and those the chemistry within our body starts to subside, those good feeling hormones, then we could possibly be left with a crash of that feeling of dissatisfaction, of depression, of, I think if you drink alcohol, you probably know what I'm talking about. So definitely moderation is the key, and knowing when, listening to your body, listening to what's going on with it at that time, dictates, I guess, the experience that you will have with it. So, for myself, I have beer. I love beer. Ale, love it. I don't know, must have come from my Irish side, Scottish side. Maybe that's whiskey, and I do love some whiskeys. And wine, I don't have as much as I used to. I have a sensitivity to the sulfates in it, so I didn't know that before. And so it's better to be kept out, or at a very minimum. Spirits, of course, whiskey, any other kind of hard alcohol. Some of those are, I'm not going to say better for you, because they are, they're cleaner, I guess. Maybe they have less things, like they don't generally have sulfates and things like that in them. Less sugars, which is, some people, if you're having an issue and you shouldn't be having sugar, maybe you shouldn't be having alcohol, is, that's my opinion. But again, moderation, right? And others would be, liqueurs or ports or anything else that's, not typical table wine or an ale or a lager or whatever. And so enjoy responsibly, which doesn't always just mean, the environment that you're in and making sure that you don't drink and drive and things like that, but being responsible for how you're feeling on the inside before you take it, before you, reach for that glass and bend your elbow, right? Like, really have a conversation with yourself first. And I think eventually, you get to that spot where you're comfortable with it, you know your limit, and that's important too, right? Staying within your limit, and it makes it more fun and no regrets that way. And also, it's never fun when you don't remember. So everything in moderation, right? Okay, so that's, I guess, it for today. And may have an ale later. We'll see. I don't know. Some days I do, some days I don't. And yeah. Anyways, until next time, be well.